At first, I'm gonna start by doing some of my checks. All right, now I got that out the way. I would like to propose a question to you all. How many of you in here have had a friend or a family member be killed or due to gun violence or to be incarcerated due to bad decisions? Okay. Well, I've had four people close to me die to gun violence or to be incarcerated due to criminal activities in a 1 year span. The first story I would tell you is of my brother, Marshall. See, Marshall, he was a good kid. You know, the kid that never really got in trouble. His parents made sure of that by sending him to an all boys school out of the neighborhood, Frederick Douglass. Him, six of my cousins, my sister, and I all went to the same school from preschool to middle school. Long story short, he had become like a brother to me. About 1 a.m. on a warm summer night in 2013, I was woken to gunshots. See, growing up on Missouri Road, I am no stranger to gunshots in the middle of the night, but this time it was different. A phone call followed the gunshots. On the other end of the line was my cousin, weeping. After asking her what was wrong, she told me that Marshall had been killed. See, you may think, oh, it's probably one of those wrong place, wrong times cases. There is some truth to that, but no, that wasn't the case. See, Marshall was killed on the corner of Jura and Lauder, less than 5 houses where he ate, slept, showered, and grew up into a young man. After graduating high school a month earlier, Marshall, like many other men in my neighborhood, did not go on to college. Instead, he continued living in the same hood that chewed up so many young men and spit them out. Not saying that college will have guaranteed that Marshall would still be alive right now, but if he would have started his college classes, he wouldn't have been in predicament that ended his life on that day. See, based on where you grew up, education is a part of your life from the time you are 5. You wake up each day at about 7 o'clock, go to school for 7 hours, and then come home. In my household, I know this may sound funny, but if you didn't get good grades, you weren't allowed to have fun. None. My mom had a knack for finding out what you deeply desired, what you really, really love, and take it away from you. In my case, it was playing basketball. I would always joke with my friends about how I hated that report cards came around right before basketball season. Well, it was the start of basketball season when report card day arrived about 2 years ago. I had felt like I had worked hard in the card market, but on that report card, it didn't show. As I watched my mom send through my grades, I knew something was wrong. I had gotten 2.7. See, you may think, oh, what's wrong with that? It's, it's straight. Well, I was like supposed to get 3.0 or I couldn't play sports. I was forced to set up practices, games, tournaments, and it killed me inside that I could not do what I love with my best friends. As I look back on this ordeal, I don't get mad, not one bit. Quite frankly, I'm thankful that my mom was so strict when it came to education. She instilled that besides God and family, education should be my next top priority. I sternly believe that more parents took the initiative that my mom took, their kids would be more productive in the classroom. Believe it or not, education is the key to success. No one on this earth will be able to start a new business, create a new medicine, or etc. without having some type of education on that specific subject. No one is born with prior knowledge of all the subjects in the world. Yes, you can be successful without even going to college. You can even be successful without finishing high school. We hear stories like this when we hear about Jay-Z, Marilyn Monroe, Steve Jobs, even Lil Wayne. But what we don't hear about is how these famous dropouts went back to school to enhance their career opportunities. Lil Wayne, for example, dropped out of the University of Houston, but ended up getting a degree in psychology from the University of Phoenix. Heck, Even Flavor Flav went back to college. Throughout the start of freshman year, I was still living on Gerald. I would wake up at 6 a.m. My mom would drive me to the bus stop on Gerald and Appleton in Redford. I would then take bus 8 to school. When school ended, I would then take that same bus to the same location. I would then have to maneuver through traffic to the bus stop at the Walgreens and then take a 40-minute ride back home. I did this about until the end of December when me and my family finally decided it was best to move out of Redford. See, now let's rewind back to before freshman year even started. In the summer before I started my 4-year journey at Thurston, I was faced with an ultimatum: Cody or Thurston. See, now Cody was right down the street from my house. All my friends went there. Even some of my family went there. So why Thurston? Even though I only knew 3 people that attended Thurston at the time, I decided to come here anyway, all due to faith. Faith that Thurston will provide me the opportunities to become a better student and a better person. Faith that by becoming a better student and a better person, it will push me to further in beating my odds. Odds of not going to college. Odds of not completing college. See, I don't want to only graduate high school because that's what I expect of myself and what others expect from me. College, however, to other people is a myth. So much of a far-fetched dream that most people feel as if is unnecessary. Luckily, I know this is untrue because I witnessed firsthand as 2 of my 3 uncles used education to beat their own odds. See, they are 2 years apart. They both attended Highland Park High School. The older one, my Uncle Jerome, graduated from Highland Park in 2003. My other uncle graduated in 2005. After a long tenure as gas construction company, one of them recently went back to school about 2 years ago and is now a commercial contractor. He did this because after his second year in college, he dropped out due to his girlfriend getting pregnant. My other uncle was one of the top students in his class 2005 across the country. He was published in the Who's Among Who American High School Students. He too later on went to college on an academic scholarship to the University of Michigan. As I had a conversation one day with him in his dorm room, he told me how that growing up at Highland Park, the chances of him going to a good college was slim, let alone a major university. He told me that getting in the University of Michigan was an arduous task. So I watched him walk across that stage on May 2nd after President Obama delivered his commencement address, tears flew down my eyes. I use these 2 examples to show that it doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter how much the odds are stacked against you. If you take education seriously and you really utilize it, you can accomplish anything you put your mind to. I had many odds in my life, educational and non-educational. Odds of not going to jail like my dad or my uncle. Odds of not committing senseless murders or becoming just another face on a t-shirt that reads, "Rest in peace," like many people that I grew up with. You all, you all may be wondering why I threw those papers in the trash before I started my speech. Well, those were all the bad papers I received in the past year, ranging from report cards to quizzes. I know that I can't let those negative things deter me from still having the same goals that I have now. Those failures just symbolize roadblocks. It's up to me and you to decide whether to run away from those roadblocks or to run through it. A piece of paper doesn't define me, neither does it define you. In closing, I would like to thank you all. I want you all to go home tonight and write down all the odds you're up against. I then want you to post those odds on your mirror. In 10 years, you will look back on these odds and say, I made it. Through the hard work, perseverance, and education. Thank you. Mr. Hughes.
How much time did you spend on that? Oh,
A lot. Like,
count it up. How many hours?
I say a good 10.
10 hours.
8 more.
Have you ever spent that much time on a writing assignment for school?
No.
Why do you think you spent so much time on it?
Because like the topic that I decided to have, like education and beating the odds, like I had like a lot to say about it. Like I deleted a whole bunch of like stuff from my essay already. So like, just still know that I have 6 pages. Yeah, after I deleted a whole bunch of stuff, I was really passionate about like education, beat the odds and stuff.
Do you think that the fact that you knew you had the opportunity to speak it, to present it, made you maybe work harder on it?
Yeah.
That, in other words, I wasn't the only audience for it.
Yeah.
I ask that because that's one of the things we're trying to figure out as English teachers is how can we make it so that the audience is not just us. You know, whether it's a speech or whether it's something posted online or a letter to a freshman or something like that. We always find that the work is a lot better if people put a lot into it. So thanks for sharing that. Very well done. All right. So I